Speculation finally had its court date. After months of sealed motions, leaked affidavits, and gossip-fueled live streams, Sean Jay-Z Carter pushed through the doors of Courtroom 26A, not as rap's first billionaire, not as half of pop culture's royal marriage, but as a man subpoenaed into Sean Diddy Combs' collapsing orbit. His name was nowhere on the public docket. Journalists froze mid-tweet. Even the security wand paused, as if surprised it had to scan him at all. Carter wore midnight navy Tom Ford, crisp white shirt, no tie, hair pulled back in neat locks, no Rock Nation entourage, no Beyonce, just attorney Alex Spiro, and a leather folio far too thin to hide the answers everyone wanted. Gasps fluttered across the rows. Judge Marisol Toledo lifted one brow. She had already denied Carter's request for a sealed deposition. Full transparency, she'd ruled. Now he had to live with it. The oath was routine. The stakes were historic. Carter's first sentence cut the air. I'm here because silence is no longer an option. The voice was measured, but each syllable felt sharpened. Rather than blanket denial, he supplied detail. Dangerous, because it meant admitting proximity. Yes, Combs invited him to immersive experiences. Yes, he attended. He described locker rooms for phones, NDAs half an inch thick, velvet drapes swallowing guests two at a time. I never pulled those curtains back, he said, but anyone with instincts knew something was off. Prosecutor Dana Kim projected a 2015 photo, Jay-Z, Diddy, LeBron, Beyonce, and a latex masked figure kneeling on velvet. Performance art, Carter recalled. I didn't laugh and I didn't stay. Lyft Records, time-stamped 1:38 a.m., backed him up. He recounted a 2018 call in which Combs warned, "They're coming. Watch who stands beside you." When asked if crimes were involved, Combs allegedly replied, "It's just experiences. No one gets hurt unless they want to." From that day, Carter distanced himself, skipped the Revolt Summit, nixed a De Leon tequila deal, and told staff to create daylight between the brands. Turning to the personal cost, he said Blue Ivy now reads headlines and had asked what a freak-off was. Producing flight manifests and Paris hotel receipts, he proved he and Beyonce were overseas during the alleged Miami orgy. Another rumor placed him at a Combs masquerade on November 3rd, 2017. He displayed a charity gala playbill from Los Angeles, plus museum security logs. When did accusation replace evidence? He asked, showing a spreadsheet of 46 outlets repeating the Miami claim without seeking comment. You don't need truth to be repeatable, just volume. Addressing wilder internet theories linking him to Epstein, Aaliyah, Tupac, and Michael Jackson, Carter quipped, "I've worn many titles, mogul, husband, sinner, but Illuminati puppet master is new." The room laughed until he added that strangers had threatened his mother. "Smoke, meet fog machine," he said. "I thought truth had legs. Lies take uber black." Cross-examination turned blunt. Kim pressed, "With such proximity, could he really have missed wrongdoing? Public events aren't backstage passes to crimes," he replied. Asked about Cassie Ventura, he said she never looked distressed. "If I'd sensed coercion, you'd be calling me as a state witness, not the defense." When Kim invoked Russell Simmons, defense objections flew, but the insinuation hung heavy. As Carter stepped down, courtroom Wi-Fi died beneath push alerts. Jay-Z testifies under oath, billionaire denies freak-offs, Beyonce trends worldwide. Outside, Sparrow offered only, Mr. Carter answered every question truthfully. Industry Slack rooms lit up. He saved himself, left Diddy to burn, all theater. He's neck deep. 50 Cent Instagrammed brunch memes. The district attorney noted, the investigation continues. Industry code for nobody's safe. Reverberations hit fast. Within 24 hours, Revolt stock slid 9%. Live Nation pulled Combs branded festivals, and Spotify's Rap Caviar banner lost his photo. Atlantic Records urged executives to check brand adjacency. Meek Mill tweeted, "Hov always 10 steps ahead," while Questlove posted popcorn gifs. TikTok montages under hashtag JNew raced past 40 million views, and CNN announced a panel titled Empire of NDAs. Attorney Ben Crump praised Carter's candor. Roxane Gay applauded his focus on children, yet barbershop Twitter joked the Tom Ford suit looked bulletproof. Inside the courtroom, juror reactions were murkier. Juror 4, a software engineer, scribbled furiously when Carter blamed clickbait. Juror 9, a Marine vet, nodded during the family segment. Observers say deliberations may may hinge on whether mere attendance equals complicity. Closing arguments are 6 weeks off, but insiders whisper fresh indictments loom as agents parse phone pings. A sealed motion, rumored to contain yacht CCTV from Biscayne Bay, awaits the judge's eyes. For Carter, another countdown matters. A stadium tour with Beyonce opens in 8 weeks.
Diddy's ex wrapped up her testimony today after 4 grueling days on the stand.
She might have a lawsuit too.
Singer Don Richard testifies that Sean Diddy Combs hit Cassie Ventura with a skillet full of eggs.
You got to go back to the drugs and the alcohol, man. The drugs and the alcohol, man. And those things will make you do something.
What does it take to bring a courtroom to complete silence? Don Richard's account of the abuse Cassie allegedly faced at the hands of Diddy left the room stunned. Get ready for shocking details that uncovered a reality few could have imagined.
Diddy's ex wrapped up her testimony today after 4 grueling days on the stand. The defense hit her hard during cross-examination, asking her about a stint in rehab for PTSD, a rape allegation, and asking her to read explicit text messages from over the past 15 years.
Richard accused Combs of sexual harassment, gender discrimination, and a hostile work environment by being exposed to sex trafficking and sex acts. She also alleged that she was a victim of false imprisonment. In her suit, Richard stated she was seeking compensatory and punitive damages, as well as other costs for post-traumatic stress, anxiety, and emotional suffering, and financial losses she suffered as a result of Combs' alleged behavior. Combs has denied her allegations. His lawyer told E! News in September, Mr. Combs is shocked and disappointed by this lawsuit. Richard's testimony in Combs' ongoing trial comes 8 months after she accused the rapper in a lawsuit of subjecting her to years of inhumane working conditions, which included groping, assault, and false imprisonment. The lawsuit, filed in September, obtained by E! News, stated, Mr. Combs frequently held meetings with Ms. Richard wearing only his underwear, despite Ms. Richard's protests and repeated requests for him to put on clothing. In her filing, the 41-year-old also alleged that Combs ordered her to strip down to her underwear, made demeaning remarks about her body, and entered her dressing room unannounced while she was unclothed, and touched her without her permission under the guise of showing the stylist what.
Don Richard's testimony hit the courtroom like a shockwave. As a former member of Danity Kane, the girl group formed under Diddy's guidance, she wasn't just another former collaborator. She had a front row seat to the inner workings of his world, which made her statement one of the most crucial moments in the first week of the trial. People expected her to share a few insights, but no one was ready for the jaw-dropping details she revealed. The entire courtroom froze. So what did Dawn actually say about the alleged abuse Cassie endured? Her connection to both Diddy and Cassie went far beyond music. Working with Diddy on a daily basis meant she interacted not only with him, but also with the people around him. And with Cassie being his longtime girlfriend, it was easy for the outside world to see their relationship as glamorous. But Dawn's testimony pulled back the curtain, exposing a much darker reality behind the scenes. Her words added weight to the quiet rumors that had surrounded Diddy and Cassie for years. When she finally took the stand, the energy in the room shifted instantly. Dawn described intense moments where she allegedly witnessed Diddy lose his temper, so intense that people around him were constantly on edge. According to her, Cassie often ended up at the receiving end of his rage. Dawn made it clear that she wasn't repeating gossip. These were things she said she personally saw. She had been there, watching it unfold. One moment in particular left the entire room silent. Without quoting anyone directly, Dawn described a fight where Diddy reportedly screamed at Cassie with such force that her body language showed just how deeply it affected her. It wasn't just the shouting, it was the threatening tone, and how Diddy allegedly twisted every situation to make Cassie feel like she had no control and couldn't stand up for herself. That moment stuck with Dawn, and she shared that it wasn't a one-time thing. There were several occasions where Cassie seemed completely trapped under Diddy's control, but what really gave her words power was the way she delivered them. Witnesses said her voice carried a mix of anger and sadness, like she had been holding it all in for years, finally ready to speak her truth. Legal experts present in the courtroom said testimonies like Dawn's can carry serious weight during a trial. Hearing general accusations is one thing, but when someone shares specific events they say they personally witnessed, it hits differently. For the jury, that kind of account brings the claims to life in a way that's hard to dismiss. And then there was Diddy's reaction, something reporters didn't miss. As Don spoke, his body language reportedly shifted. He looked tense, maybe even caught off guard by how direct she was being. According to those watching, he fidgeted in his seat, his face grew more serious, and at one point he leaned in to speak with his lawyers. He didn't speak out or interrupt, but it was obvious he wasn't comfortable with the way Dawn was portraying him, and it makes sense why. Her words weren't just contradicting his polished public image, they were giving serious support to Cassie's allegations. But what really seemed to hit both the jury and the people following the trial from the outside was one line Dawn reportedly said, that Cassie spent most of her time just trying to survive. Those 5 words landed hard. They summed up years of alleged emotional and physical abuse in a way that felt deeply personal and real. It wasn't just about the arguments or control anymore. It painted a picture of someone who was living in constant fear, cut off, and stuck in a situation with no clear escape. Dawn's testimony wasn't just another part of the case. It became a major turning point. It added serious momentum to the narrative being built by the prosecution, and it's something the defense is gonna have a hard time pushing back on. As the first week of the trial wrapped up, her words still lingered. This wasn't just about her sharing what she remembered. It was about finally shining a light on something that had stayed hidden for way too long. And with more people expected to testify soon, especially those who were also close to Cassie and Diddy, the courtroom is preparing for even more powerful revelations.